Hi everybody, welcome back to yoga. I'm Betsy McGann, part of your Healthy Columbus team. All these classes are brought to you by Healthy Columbus. I'm so glad you can join us. Today's class is yoga for relaxation, stress reduction, and the only thing you need today is one block, and if you have it, a yoga strap. Let's begin. So today, before we start, make sure that you have your strap within arm's reach, as well as your yoga block. We'll start today on our backs. So go ahead and lie down on your mat, feet flat, knees bent. Make sure that you're comfortable here. Take a minute, get all the wiggles out if you need to. Feet are about hips width apart. And bring your hands to your belly if that's comfortable. Every yoga class always begins with a few settling breaths. So this is where we'll begin today. Eyes are closed, or just cast a soft downward gaze. Take a deep breath into the belly, and then let it go. Notice all the points of contact between the back body and the ground below. Let yourself be very aware of the breath. Notice the gentle rise and expansion of the mid-body with each inhale. Gentle softening with each exhale. Let all of the busyness of your day fall away. Come to land on your mat. Remember, as you move through this practice, no expectations. Just let the practice be what it is. Meet your body where you are today. One more big deep breath into the belly. Exhale through the mouth. Good, and let it go. From here, hug knees to chest. Start to rock side to side, and as you do, notice the backs of the hips, the shoulders. Maybe walk those shoulder blades in as you rock side to side. Don't worry about what comes next. Just be here. Maybe circle through the knees a bit. Soften through the jaw. And then from here, find stillness. Bring both hands to the right knee and extend the left leg long on the mat. Let that heel rest to the floor. And then see if you can walk the left heel back just a little bit more. So extend through the left leg and then pull the right knee in. Big breath here. Soften through the shoulders. Reach the right toes up, grab the back of the right leg somewhere, whether it's the calf, the knee, or the back of the thigh. Point and flex the foot. Circle through the ankle. Soft jaw. And then as you exhale, let the knee bend a little so you can bring that thigh a little bit closer to the belly. Maybe flex the foot or move the toes side to side. Keep the upper body nice and soft. And then from here, bend the knee, bring that foot in, and find your strap. Taking the yoga strap, wrap it around the arch of the foot. Hold onto the strap with both hands, and as you inhale, extend the right leg up to the ceiling. If your hands are all the way up here, let the elbows bend so that your forearms fall down to the mat, right? So we want to make sure that you're well anchored through the upper body. So the upper arms are pressing into the floor, shoulder blades squeezing slightly together. Press the sole of the right foot up to the ceiling. Nice big stretch here. Breathe into that tightness. Let it release. From here, point the toes again. Notice that difference. With that resistance from the strap, flex the foot. Big breath. Exhale. And then from here, take the strap in the right hand. Walk the right hand as close to the foot as you can. Now some of you, your leg's nice and straight. Some of you, nice big bend in the knee. Either way is perfectly okay. Find your comfortable reach. Let the left arm come out to the side in a half T. And on your next exhale, lower the right leg out to the side. So I'm using my forearm to press against the floor for a little more balance. Maybe the right leg comes all the way to the floor, or maybe you want to take a block and bring it underneath the thigh. It's up to you. But we'll be here for a few breaths. So while you're here, bring attention to the left hip. Make sure it's well anchored to the floor. Left heel pressing in. Nice big stretch through the right hip. Keep the right foot flexed. Stay with the breath. Imagine bringing breath into the right hip. Softening. Creating space. Press through the right heel, and as you inhale, let the foot bring that leg right back up to center. Bring the strap to the left hand, right arm out in half T. And from here, keeping that press through the right heel, on your next exhale, lower the right leg across the body. So again, upper arm comes to the floor. Some of you might want to move that block underneath the leg, perfectly okay. Whatever you need to do, remember those blocks are there to bring the floor closer to you. While you're stretching on this side, bring attention to the right shoulder. Notice if it has lifted up off of the floor. Maybe you can release it back to the mat by rolling the right shoulder down, away from the ear. Soft jaw. Press through the right heel, and as you inhale, bring that leg all the way back up to center. Hold on to the strap again with both hands. And from here, see if you can bring the foot a little closer to the head. So maybe the elbows come up to the sides, maybe that knee bends more, that's okay. Big breath here, press into the right foot. Exhale, bring the knee to the chest, remove the strap, right leg long. What a difference side to side. Shake it out. Notice that you're about 3 inches taller on the right side now. Can feel pretty good. Okay. Move that strap to the side for a breath. Exhale, knees to chest once more. Rock side to side or circle the knees. Soften through the chest and the shoulders. Bring both hands to the left knee. Extend the right leg long onto the mat. Let that heel touch down. Good. Find that reach through the right leg. Soft shoulders. From here, extend the left foot up. Point and flex the foot. Good. Find that reach. And then again, take the strap. So bring your heel into the glute. Wrap the strap around the sole of the left foot. Hold on to both sides of the strap. And as you inhale, extend the left leg up. And again, knowing that we're definitely different side to side. Maybe this is the side that stretches longer. Maybe you can get your leg a little straighter. Or maybe you need to have a greater bend in the knee. Honor where you are. Press the foot up. Soften through the shoulders and let the hands rest down the strap so the forearms are in contact with the floor. Feel that resistance. Bring attention to the right leg once in a while. Make sure it's still rooting down. Stay with the breath. And then from here, after you've pressed the sole of the foot up, sometimes I lose my words, y'all, sorry. Bring both sides of the strap into the left hand. Right arm reaches out in a half T. On an exhale, lower the left leg out to the side, bringing the forearm down. Again, maybe you want to put a block underneath the leg. Wherever it lands, let that be enough. Make sure that your right hip feels well anchored, pressing down through the right heel, soft through shoulders and jaw. Bring the breath into the left hip. Keep pressing away with the left heel. Appreciate any stretch that you feel. And then activating again through the leg. Press that left heel away and let the foot bring the leg back up on the inhale. Strap switches to the right hand. Left arm reaches out in half T. As you exhale, lower the left leg across the body. Keep that heel pressing away. Soften down through the left shoulder. Let the breath be your focus here. Really tuning in. Imagine softening through the tight muscles, simply through the breath. Press through the left heel. And as you inhale, let the foot bring the leg back up once again. Hold on to the strap with both hands. And then from here, bring the foot a little closer to the head, any amount. Soft shoulders. Big breath. Exhale. Release the strap. Bring the leg long. Now you're 3 inches taller side to side. Shake the heels side to side. Wonderful. From here, leave the legs long. And as you inhale, reach the arms up to the ceiling. And once you're here, keep reaching up so that the shoulder blades lift up off of the mat, right? So you're rounding the shoulder blades out around the side of the body. And then as you exhale, click them back into the mat. So imagine you're squeezing the shoulder blades together. Arms are still engaged, nice and long. Heels press into the floor, shoulder blades press into the floor. On your next inhale, let the arms rest alongside the ears. Nice, big, full body stretch. Press the outsides of the thumbs to the floor. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bring them alongside the body. Let everything go loose and soft. Inhale, engage the legs and the arms. Reach the fingertips up. Exhale, plug the shoulder blades into the floor. Inhale, engage. Exhale, reach the arms alongside the ear on the exhale this time. Good. And then this time, as you exhale, from knees to chest. Rock side to side. And then bring your left arm or right arm alongside the ear. Roll to that side of the body. So using that extended arm as a pillow. Take the opposite palm and press it into the floor. And slowly press yourself up to seated. Nice and slow. Feels so good, doesn't it? Amazing what stretching can do for our body. So from here, with one block, we'll move through some forward folds today. Remember, please, to take care of yourself. Do no harm. Yoga is not about touching your toes. It's about what you learn on the way down, right? So we don't always have to have the deepest stretch to have the most impact on our day and on our practice. So from here, bring your legs nice and wide. So if you're used to standing forward folds, this is the same shape. Let's just notice the difference today between a seated forward fold and a standing. We'll do both so that you can really feel into which pose is the most effective for you. So first, let's begin. A lot of options here. I like to invite students to bring a block in front of them so that as you forward fold, if you want to find contact between the block and your forehead, it can be very grounding, a little more soothing. It's up to you. So whether you have no block or a block, sit up nice and tall. Let's ground down through the sits bones, root down through the heels. Again, bent knees are perfectly fine. Take a moment here. And then as you inhale, reach up. On the exhale, bring the hands down anywhere and start to hinge forward at the hips. Good, finding your fold. If you have a block, maybe it takes 2 blocks for you to get your forehead there, but feel free to let the forehead rest on its support. Soften through the shoulders. Walk the fingers forward if that feels better. Keep the feet flexed. Smooth breath. And then slowly come back up. And roll through the shoulders. And then from here, let's experience some side stretches. So again, you have a block. If you'd like to use the block to bring your arm closer to the floor, bring it to the inside of the left thigh. From here, bring your left forearm down. So again, on the block or without, up to you. Keep both feet flexed. Now, if leaning to the side is a little intense for you, like so, you can bend your right knee rather, bringing the right foot into the left thigh. So this is one version, and this is another. From here, before we come into this full side stretch, bring your right hand to the hip and start to turn to the back of the room just a little bit. So you're opening up through the side body, maybe even looking up over the right shoulder. And then from here, start to extend that right arm alongside the ear. Then find your way into your side stretch. Now, once you're here, wherever that arm is, if you want to get the shoulder a little bit closer to the thigh, you can take your left hand and reach to find the right hip. But while you're here, if you find that the torso starts to fold forward to the floor, keep those ribs rotating to the ceiling. Maybe you find the foot, maybe you don't. Do no harm. Use the breath. And then from here, as you exhale, let yourself begin to drape forward into an easeful forward fold. When I'm here, I like to pull my forearms back and just let everything go. Sinking into the chest, letting the head hang. Maybe find a little movement in the shoulders. Move the chin side to side. And then slowly come on back up. Through the shoulders. Good. We move to the other side. So again, option to bring a block to the inside of the thigh to support the forearm. Option to bend the left knee, bringing the left foot to the inside of the thigh. Whatever is extended is very well engaged and rooted. So taking the right forearm to the inside of the thigh, hand to hip. First, rotate those ribs nice and open. And then from here, take that top arm, reach it alongside the ear as you lengthen out over the right leg. Keep those those ribs rotating. And maybe reach to find the left hip. Different side to side. Honor where you are in the practice. Stay with the breath. And then as you exhale, let yourself drape into a forward fold. Find whatever release you choose, whether it's walking the hands forward and out, whether perhaps it's walking the forearms in to cross them, let the head hang. then slowly bring yourself back up. Good. From here, even though it might seem like the legs won't move, let's bring hands under the knees. Slowly pull the heels in as the knees bend. Good. Take a moment here. Just tuck the knees in. Sit up nice and tall. And then as you exhale, round through the spine, tuck the chin. Little seated cat. Inhale, arch up. Let the chin reach up as you look up. Seated cow. Exhale, seated cat. Inhale, seated cow. Good. And then release. Let's find our way to tabletop pose. So coming to all fours. In tabletop, feet are hips width apart. Root down through the palms. 2 more rounds of cat-cow right here. So inhale, drop the belly low. Reach the chin forward. Shoulders press back away from the ears. Exhale, rounding into cat. Into cow. Exhale to cat. Good. And then from cat pose, press all the way back to child's. Bring the knees nice and wide. Walk the fingers forward and let the heart soften toward the earth. Coming to rest on the forehead. You can always bring your head to the block as well if that feels better. Allow yourself time and space here in child's pose to really soften in. Inhale and exhale. Next, inhale, lift the head, slide the palms back so that you can press back up to tabletop pose. Good, and take a moment here, find your blocks. Now if you don't have blocks today, that's all right. They're always a suggestion, right? So from here, if you have blocks and you'd like to use them, bring them underneath the hands. If you don't have blocks, remain in tabletop. But from here, step the right foot forward so that you can find yourself in a low runner's lunge, okay? Now this is a little different for everybody depending on your shape and your flexibility. But in a low runner's lunge, the back knee is down. Make sure you walk the front toes forward, making sure that the knee is not in front of the ankle, right? So you always want the knee either above the ankle or slightly behind. But walk those toes forward and notice what you feel on the left hip flexor, okay? So if you have the blocks, it can be helpful just to lengthen up a little bit here. Finding that lovely shape. Pressing down through the outside edge of the right foot. Feeling that stretch in the left hip flexor. Not pressing or hanging the weight here, but really letting yourself feel a nice stretch. Using the breath. Soft shoulders. Action through the right foot. Good. And then from here, if you have blocks, bring them over to the left side of the mat. Tuck the back toes and lift the knee, finding a high runner's lunge. From here, let's use our braids a little bit. So once you're in this high runner's lunge, bring the right hand inside the right thigh and start to rotate. Walk yourself to the left. Toes, fingers, torso, all facing left. Bring the back heel down, finding yourself in a forward fold. From here, inhale halfway up. Let's take a moment to adjust the stance. So some of you might like to move the legs in a little bit more so that your stance isn't quite as wide. Some of you might like to lengthen. If you have blocks, again, it can be very nice to just close up that space between your arms and the floor. Finding your half fold here, take a moment and focus on your alignment. So think about all those strong lines of energy we're creating between the hands and the arms, the feet and the legs, and even the upper body. So as you're in this half fold, squeeze the shoulder blades slightly together so you have a nice flat back. Look down at the mat and reach the crown of the head forward. So really lengthening through the spine. With that length in mind, tuck the belly too. So really pull the belly in, find action in the mid-body, and on your next exhale, let the knees bend a little bit and come into a forward fold. Let your elbows bend behind you, and once you're there, tuck the chin. Maybe even walk the hands back in line with the feet. With the chin tucked, lengthening through the back of the neck. Let the knees bend a little bit more. See how that feels. Inhale, come halfway up. So we'll be here for a few breaths. So you know if forward folding is too intense for you. If it is, give yourself a little break. Hit pause, right, between poses. Since you can watch this at your own pace, you have all day. So the next time we forward fold, I invite you to try a block underneath the head. So from your half fold, take a deep breath in, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, find that forward fold, whatever works for you, however far you choose to go. And again, maybe you're a 2-block person, maybe 1 block, maybe 0. But see if you can bring the crown of the head down to the block. Just take a few breaths here at your own pace. Maybe see what it feels like to bend the knees a little bit more. Maybe a little less. And then inhale, once again, come halfway up. Move the blocks over to the right side of where you are right now. And then slowly begin to rotate everything to the right. So we'll return to our high runner's lunge first. The right heel lifts up off the mat. Find your lunge length. And then carefully exhale the back knee to the mat. Good. From here, step the right foot back to front table. And then from table, walk the hands forward just a little bit. Let the hips tilt forward, shift forward rather. And then move yourself around the clock face. Just twice, clockwise. And then twice counterclockwise. Be gentle to ourselves. Good. So you remain where you are. I'm going to switch to the other side. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So finding tabletop pose first. Rooting well through the palms, the tops of the feet. Step the left foot forward and find your low runner's lunge. So again, maybe the blocks, maybe not. Walk that left foot forward. If you feel wobbly, you can always bring the foot out to the side slightly. And just take a few breaths here to find your alignment. So rooting down through the left heel, gently stretching through the right hip flexor. Soft shoulders, soft jaw. Stay with the breath. And then as you're ready, move the blocks out to the right side of the mat. Tuck the back toe, lift the right knee, find your high runner's lunge. Oops. And then from here, very carefully start to rotate to the right. So finding your forward fold once again. Left heel comes down. Begin in a half fold so that you can adjust the stance as you please. On an exhale, find that forward fold. So stay where you are for a few breaths and notice the difference between a standing forward fold and seated. Using the weight of the upper body in a standing fold can really help us deepen into the pose. But it doesn't mean it's the best one for you necessarily, right? So you know what's best. Listen to the body. Go where you need to go. From your half fold, inhale halfway up, nice straight back. As you exhale, walk your hands over to the left. hold onto the left leg somewhere and soften in. Right elbow bends. Get a little closer to the leg if you can. And then inhale, slowly come back to center. Exhale, soften to the other side. Tuck the chin. Let that inside elbow bend toward the center. And then as you inhale, come back to center one more time. Good. From here, walk the hands forward as we move into hammock pose. So this is like a very wide-legged, easy down dog. Easy, right? So palms are pressing into the floor. Your hips have shifted forward of the ankles. Once you feel pretty well balanced from side to side, exhale, and this time let the head soften down underneath the upper arms. So in downward facing dog, our ears are aligned with the upper arms, but in hammock pose, we encourage the body to soften down even more, hanging like a hammock. Press through the outside edges of the feet. Root through the palms. And then inhale and slowly come back up. Walk those hands to center. And from here, let's rotate back to our high lunge. So walk everything to the left. That right heel pops up off the floor, finding your high runner's lunge. Exhale, the right knee comes down. Exhale, back to tabletop pose. Wiggle the hips side to side this time. Good. And from here, come all the way down to your belly with the legs long behind you. Make a pillow with the hands and just rest one cheek or the other on your hands. Take a few breaths here. And we'll do one gentle back bend before we begin to wind down. So from here, bring your palms underneath the shoulders and click your elbows into the side ribs, nice and close. Zip the legs together, right? So move those thighs in close to each other, root down through the tops of the feet. So keeping your elbows clicked in, squeeze the shoulder blades together, head to the mat. Root through the palms of the tops of the feet. And as you inhale, lift the head, the neck, the shoulders. Good, pressing into cobra. From here, lift the hands and the feet to baby cobra. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Keep the feet lifting. If you're rocking, you're breathing. Exhale, release back down. Turn your head to the other side. Make a pillow with the hands. And then from here, bring one arm alongside the ear, right or left, and roll to that side with the knees in slightly, so bend the knees, finding that side lying position once again. And then from here, roll to your back. Ending as we began. So take a moment here, make sure you're symmetrical. Let everything start to settle. So the heels are back by the glutes. Bring arms long alongside the body. And we'll move through a few gentle rolling bridge poses. So the first thing I'd like you to do is just bring attention to the low spine. And as you exhale, simply flatten the low back. So you're just pressing the low back into the mat, that's all. And then as you inhale, let the low back rise back up and tilt the hips toward the thighs. A little pelvic tilt here. Exhale, press the low back in. Inhale, press into the hips, let them tilt toward the thighs. Exhale, press the low back to the mat. One more time, just like that. As you inhale, find that pelvic tilt. Exhale, press the low back in. And this time, as you inhale, press into the feet, lift the hips up, rolling up to bridge. Once you arrive at the top, gently roll back down, one vertebra at a time. Good, and again, inhale, press up, rolling bridge, nice and slowly. Once you feel the shoulders take on the strength of the pose, carefully roll back down. Tailbone is last to arrive. Good, and then hug the knees in. Rock side to side. Circle the knees. Just start to let everything go. Start to relax. And then from here, let your feet come to the mat. And bring your feet as wide as the mat, arms out in T-pose. Now you know if your back's a little tighter, some spinal twists aren't as comfortable, so please adjust as you need to. For this one though, feet are nice and wide. As you exhale, lower your knees to the left, all the way to the left. Again, if you need a block under the thighs, that's fine. But once you get to your stopping point, you might feel a nice stretch along the front right side body. Once you're here, see if you can reach that right knee toward the left corner of the mat. So really reaching down through the knee. Big breath here through the side body. And again, notice if you're tensing somewhere else that you don't need to. As you inhale, bring the knees back to center. Little side to side motion here. And then from here, as you exhale, lower the knees all the way to the right. Same thing, all the way to the right. Support as needed. And reach that left knee toward the lower right corner of the mat. Soften through the body. Find the breath. One more big round of breath here. Inhale. Exhale. And then inhale back to center. If you have a block, find the block. I have to find my block. Bring that block underneath the low back. So you'll press into the feet and lift the hips. Block underneath the sacrum. Lowest part of the low back. Pause here for a few breaths. Hand on the belly, hands on the belly, or sides. Either way is fine. Tune into the back body. Begin to let everything settle. Exhale, knees to chest. You're welcome to close the eyes. Make sure that block feels comfortable. And then let the feet raise up to the ceiling. There can certainly be a bend in the knee if that's more comfortable. And maybe while you're here, it might feel good to let the hips sway a little bit side to side. A little massage for the low back. It's up to you. Notice in this inversion, the entire body really begins to settle. Such a powerful pose. If at night you find that you can't quiet the mind, maybe even quite literally the body, this is a really great pose to take. It's also known as legs up the wall. So if you don't have a block, you can bring yourself to a wall, let the heels rest up against the wall, and just give yourself some time. Circulate, tuning into the breath. down to the floor once again. On the next inhale, press into the feet, lift the hips and slide the block out of the way. Let the tailbone touch back down. From here, we'll do one more spinal twist before Shavasana. So from here, arms out at T-pose, but anchor down through the shoulders and the arms. So you really want to be rooted well through the arms. Exhale, bring your knees to the chest. That's all. From here, root down through the shoulders and arms and slowly lower your knees to the left side. So really big stretch here. And we're out of alignment slightly in the back body. This is opposite my typical spinal twist that I offer at the end of a class. But this one can feel pretty darn good, especially if you take the right leg and extend it out to the side. About the shape that we took at the beginning of class. It's very similar. Press well through the right shoulder, and as you inhale, bring the knees back in. Ground down through the arms. Exhale, knees to the left. Good. Try to keep that left shoulder rooted as best you can. Maybe extend the left leg out to the side. Exhale, left heel comes in. Press through the arms. Inhale, back to center. And exhale, feet to the mat. So from here, if there's any last pose or motion that the body needs, now's the time. I will sit up as I talk you through Shavasana. And so Shavasana is typically taken lying down with limbs away from the body. Certainly you can take it seated as well, but take a moment here and really get as comfortable as you can for the next few minutes. Supporting yourself with props if that's better. And then once you're in position, take a really deep breath. Exhale through the mouth. Begin to let the body go. The eyes close. Know that Shavasana is the time that you have prepared for. Knowing that as you move through the poses, the asanas in a yoga practice, you're preparing the body and the mind well for this time of inward turning. The body is well supported by the ground below. Know that the thoughts will continue to be there, and that's okay. Let them float past as clouds as you ride the gentle wave of the breath. Know that there's nothing more to be done, and allow yourself rest. Shavasana.